Stoplight Spoilers is coming to you, bringing you spoilers and movie reviews, with Jake and Isaiah as your hosts as they're driving home.
The name of the song?
Yeah. Because in the movie we just watched, they had the little girl that she was going to do Kesha or something other, and she wound up doing that song for her dad.
Is the heist one?
Was it Logan Lucky?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Which also had Channing Tatum in it. This is recording, right?
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Anyway, what's up, Isaiah?
Not much. How are you, Jacob?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just enjoying the night. It's nice English weather we're having here.
It is. It's perfect.
Considering the movie we watched.
Perfect. It didn't rain at all in the movie, though.
No.
How did they get so many non-rainy days?
It's because they got in America.
Wow.
Remember, they came to America fairly quickly.
That is true, I guess.
Lots of explosions.
Most of it was in America.
So anyways, if you haven't picked up what we watched tonight, we watched Kingsman, The Golden Circle.
Man, they really pushed that. I laughed almost every time they said The Golden Circle.
The Golden Circle.
I was like, such a silly name.
It was. I kept having flashbacks to The Circle.
Right, I did too.
You know, with Tom Hanks and such.
did.
And I just kind of thought maybe this was a portion of his empire. Like, you know, she was connected to the
same
circle.
world. I like it.
The same world. It just kind of would be fun to me.
I like it.
Like, she expounded upon it. She's like,
Maybe this is a prequel.
Tom Hanks, she didn't do very good.
Maybe it's a prequel.
Yeah, maybe. They changed it to the Red Circle. But, anyway. It was quite fun.
It was a fun movie. I watched the other one last night.
For your first time,
called?
right?
Yeah.
Kingsman.
Did it have a... Just
I don't recall it having anything. I think it's just called Kingsman. The Kingsman or something.
I thought I had a colon, but maybe not.
I don't recall it having a subtitle.
Yeah, that movie was crazy too. Like the first one. It was quite nuts, actually.
So since you just watched the first one last night, how would you rate it overall and give your opinion upon that?
For, like, if I was going to rate it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, an 8 or 9.
8 or 9?
It was fun.
So you enjoyed it, all right?
I mean, a lot of things don't make sense, obviously.
Like physics-wise.
Right.
Yeah. But it is fun.
Yes.
Because, I mean, it's consistently wrong.
It was very consistent between both films, too. Like,
yeah, it was.
The way it was shot, everything about it just felt totally the same.
Which I think, because I can get by with stuff not being proper, as long as that's the overall goal consistently.
Right.
It's just when you try to start saying, oh, well, this is real, when it's just clearly not, that's when it gets real silly. But this movie is based off of silliness in a way.
The part where I got shocked in the first one is when the bionic leg woman chopped the guy directly down the middle. I was like, what is happening in this movie?
Yeah.
Because that's like really early on in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I put my phone down and watched the rest of the movie.
So you were playing on your phone to kind of multitask.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what is going on?
Like, I gotta pay attention. This person just got chopped in half by a handicapped woman.
Handicapped woman. I think it's more like upgrades, like Aeon Flux, like the chick that sewed hands on her feet. Remember that, if you can?
Not at all. I don't know. Have I seen it? I don't know.
It's pretty good. Charlize Theron is on. But yeah, this is pretty good. So round 2. I want to just kind of jump the gun here. Obviously, if you've looked at any kind of movie posters, you realize that Galahad does not die in the first film. Because he was on the freaking trailer poster. So,
that's
spoiler
sad.
alert.
Why didn't they keep that to themselves?
It would have been a really cool one, but its cast is going to be on IMDb. But I don't look at cast. I just saw the poster.
I just think...
Had it not been on the poster, I would have went into it not knowing. It would
right.
be kind of neat. But I just want to jump the gun because the tech that they supposedly had, I enjoyed. I am American. I did enjoy that we developed that tech. And that kind of made me happy. But the bigger picture is the fact that the tech even exists just is really neat. Let's put a sanitary napkin over your eyes inject two things like
Two
JB
chemicals
Weld.
or
JB
whatever,
Weld,
yeah.
no, they mix together, and
They
then all of a
have
sudden,
really cool stuff like that.
the
Like,
brain.
not to that technology, but like these pellets you pour in open wounds and they swell up until you can get to the hospital to stop the bleeding. And
That's
stuff.
really cool. So, let's say this stuff is real. That's pretty darn nifty. I just took a bullet hole.
Nanobots that rebuild.
Yeah, I just took
tissues.
a bullet to the cranium. And I'm alive. And the butterflies were just kind of funny. Made me laugh.
Butterflies being remnants of his brain tissues not functioning correctly.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit tired. I'm trying to focus on this podcast, but I've driven an awful lot the past week.
And today, just
And ridden.
today in general.
Yeah, today in general. Drove all the way from Georgia to be back in our area. And and so
All the way from Georgia to our area.
it's roughly 800 miles, give or take. And I'm tired. It's been a long way, long day.
Welcome. I actually
I
think
kinda
that
dozed
our
in the
area
movie.
probably has already come up in the
Probably.
podcast.
I dozed a minute, like not
Oh,
a
you
full
did?
60 seconds, but like my head bobbed a couple times. So that was a bit unfortunate. I don't feel like I missed anything.
You
but
pulled an Isaiah.
I did. I don't feel like I missed anything. But
I
anyway.
didn't. This is probably the first movie ever I didn't fall asleep.
So let's get down to the movie. The plot is Elton John is held captive, and that's what the movie's about.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it was about Elton John. Isn't that what? That's what I got from it.
No, not at all.
Oh.
I
I
did
could have
love
swore it was
love,
a way for him to get back known so he could sell more tickets.
You think so?
I thought this is what this movie was about.
I think he sells out arenas already.
All right. So anyway, Elton John is held captive.
This is our new feature. This is what we do now. Is we actually take minor details of the story and change the movie to that.
So anyway,
It's
as I
not
was
a minor
saying,
detail.
he was kidnapped and held prisoner.
Go ahead. Keep going.
And by the lady with the robotic dogs. I mean, that was pretty cool. Benny and whatever the other one's name was.
I don't remember.
Benny and Jude.
I can't remember the
Jude would
humans.
have been fun. Anyway, so interesting how they kind of brought the guy that was salty from the first movie back.
Right.
It's like I didn't get in to be in a Kingsman. Was it Charlie? I feel like his name was.
Sounds good. I think that's
Something
correct.
close to that. George, Charlie,
He had
Paul,
one of the.
Ringo, something like that.
He was in the final scene of the other movie.
Yeah, where
And
all of the heads were poof.
It didn't show him dying, but everybody else's heads were blowing off, so it was assumed. And he came back because
Malfunction with his
malfunction.
detonator.
Ended up blowing his arm off and his vocal cords.
Which I have to point out a moment. They started really strong with the kind of little voice.
Yeah.
And then there were moments I felt like they completely forgot to add any sort of digital change to his voice.
Yeah,
Like he just sounded completely human.
I could see that issue.
And it felt like it was just a couple continuity issues. It didn't distract me. It was just noticeable.
Right.
So I guess it did distract me. So anyway, he is salty. Decides to go after Egerton's character. And of course, the rest of Kingsman, which,
I mean,
spoiler alert,
that's not-
everybody dies.
he doesn't. That's not necessarily why he's got hired by the Golden Circle lady.
Yeah, she's pretty important.
It's just a benefit to him to get to beat up main character guy.
But he's still salty.
He is salty, yes, but like wasn't his goal,
Okay.
right?
His goal was not to defeat the Kingsman?
No, he was just he was hired to get intel on the Kingsman so she could take him out.
I can see your point, but I also think he wanted to do it. Like it was part of his goal in the game. I mean, yes, it was.
But he
ultimately
could
was
have
one
just
bullet
killed
strings.
him.
Yeah, he could have, but why do that when he could just play with him? Like he did try to kill him, rather. And then the arm
Yeah.
got, he kind of defeated him, which was a cool scene. So, Thing was reincarnated in this movie from the Addams Family. And hacked a computer in the car.
Can we go?
To get the
let's
data.
talk about the Fast and Furious moment where the sideways burnout was just amazing.
No, let's go even further. Did he use a tab from a Coke can to get that extra horsepower and noise?
Is
Is
that
what happened? Did he pull on a string? I missed the string. Did you catch that?
I did.
So I'm really confused how the little... I'm going to guess probably somewhere close in the range of a 3-cylinder diesel.
Became just a monstrosity.
Became like a V8, like... and all-wheel drive.
And it popped off hubcaps or something.
Hubcaps, and
As a
just
performance upgrade.
transferred itself into a drift. A Ken Block European machine.
Yeah,
Like, that was fun.
it was really funny. It fit the movie though. It totally fit.
If you guys are at all in the know of Gymkhana, it makes an appearance in this movie.
Yes, it does.
Legit. It's quite entertaining. I'm pretty sure it was Ken Block driving that
You think
CG
so?
car.
I like it.
But, yeah, so... She has the diabolical plan to control the world by getting the monopoly and starting a $250 billion a year industry, which is the drug trade.
Yeah, she essentially wants to legalize all drugs so she can be the main
Or did it say be wise, legalize, or something?
Yeah.
Like that? Something like that. I can't remember what it said.
hashtagging it.
Hashtag. And so she decides to infect all the people that like to do drugs.
So she puts
Cocaine,
out tainted.
meth,
All of her product becomes tainted with a virus.
everything. I
A
think it said
virus that
cocaine and
enters.
blow. Isn't that the same? It's the same.
I don't have any idea.
Virus, yes.
Well, you'll be our resident drug expert. We'll address me for physics.
I'll be the
You
resident
can be the drug
drug
expert.
unexpert. That's kind of pretty much what I do in that category. So yeah, this virus
Infects the
has
host, the drug
stages.
users.
Stage
First,
1,
it gets them all blue. Gets their veinage all blue up towards their face, typically,
Yeah.
in their hands.
stage 2,
They go delirious, and for some reason dance. A lot of them
happy dance. They all happy dance,
That's weird.
which is kind of funny.
And then they go
And
into
then stage 3,
paralysis, and they
Which-
literally get stuck in whatever position they were in.
yeah.
Which
Just
is
imagine
really-
the dudes that were ranking off on the toilet, and then all of a sudden it just got stuck.
Oh, and rated our podcast.
It is a rated R movie.
True.
And
Remember, we're trying to appeal to the 8-year-olds that listen, remember?
because there's so many.
It
others.
came up in the podcast that I was listening to today. I don't know if you remember that conversation. We talked about our 8-year-old listeners.
Correct.
How we need to appeal to them.
And stage 4 is ultimately,
painful, awful death where you bleed out your eyes and nose.
unless you're Elton John, in which you're saved.
Yeah.
So she makes a deal with the United States president to deliver an antidote, as long as he complies and legalizes
And he plays along with it
all drugs.
very well, like with the press and stuff. He's like, yeah, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Save the world, right?
And then he sees the pros
The opportunity.
and seizes the opportunity to essentially genocide.
Such a great idea he thinks it is.
Or herbicide. Anyway,
Kill him there. But I guess that works too.
so he
Wants to win the war on drugs by killing all the drug users.
by killing everyone that does drugs. Actually, not necessarily killing them. However,
letting them.
don't stopping himself from delivering the antidote.
Yes.
Says, ha! He laughed at her. He's like, that's just whatever. I'm good with that. Which was cold. A little bit cold. I mean, he had a point.
Right, but I can't get behind killing millions of people for that point.
I mean,
Oh gosh, don't even say that you can.
so he decides to do that, and she's like thinking the whole time the president is going to eat right out of her hand. Well, lo and behold, Galahad comes back after getting shot by Samuel L. Jackson for the first movie. Lost his brain. They recover his brain. He is now intact and semi-calibrated, if you will.
Yes.
And they go through and try to thwart a mole in the operation, which it always seems to be a mole. And basically save the world.
Did you think that I didn't know which side of the car that was going to lay on? Like, I didn't know if
When he
might have
shot the
actually
guy?
been crazy, yeah.
No, I believed him 100%. I was 100% on board with him because I was like, I really do not feel they would have made him go that direction. It just seemed completely off for the writers. If they had been like, he literally was crazy. I just didn't see it happening.
Yeah.
But, so I believed it because I just couldn't see it.
I didn't know which way. Because, like, he's just out there. I mean, why would he just. I don't know.
Well, it
He's
looked
playing the
fishy. He
part.
was like, let me see that. Like, first off,
That's true.
you have the only vial.
Why'd they even open it?
Exactly.
Why-
You have the only vial of the antidote.
Vial's
in your
not
possession.
known for their awesome.
Right, that's why it was in a cigar
what do you
case.
call it?
That most likely was padded.
Right.
Yeah. So, why take it out and gander at it? Because
And then
obviously we know.
If the door gets, if somebody knocks at the door, then I'd put it right back in. If I did happen to take it out.
Yeah, it was just a real silly thing to progress the plot,
Right.
obviously. So that was one of those things. It's like, this is just silly. It's like
They should have shot
horror
it.
movies that they run upstairs.
Somebody could have shot it. It could have went through that, and I would have liked that better. Like,
Well,
the silliness of it.
I see that, but it couldn't have set up for the mole.
right. That's true.
Which
Very
cowboy, you know.
true. Which I don't know how they would have done it, but
I don't know either. I'm not a writer. But, yeah, so
Look,
antidote's gone.
and
A large chunk of the Earth's population is now blue-veined.
right, and he was like, I'm gonna go back up on top of the mountain and get some,
Come on. I saw that coming.
and he blew up. Well, I don't know. Was it Charlie? Yeah, Charlie blew up his own girlfriend because of her relations. In
She
Italy.
failed. It didn't stay in wherever they were at. A little kitten. So, to tie this up, Egerton's character, or both Galahads at this point, saved the day. And how did they save the day?
They took out, I don't know, 45, 40, I don't know.
A bunch of people.
And machines.
A couple machines. And with the assistance of Elton John. Let's not
Elton
forget.
John. And the one guy committed, not suicide, what do you call him? You take out, he was a martyr.
Yeah.
He did a good job at that.
Yeah, that was tough. He sang the song. Made me tear up a little.
I didn't want him to die.
I didn't either.
I was irritated, but I was like, I guess what else are you gonna do?
Yeah. It was sad.
Good thing he's just an actor and he's still alive.
In real life, yeah.
And then Elton John though coming through to like save the day.
Yeah, smashing a animatronic dog's head in
Right.
with the bowling ball.
And he took out 2 guards.
Yeah, with his
With his-
platform shoe. And the piano.
Elton John is quite the character.
Yeah, they really went over the top there toward the end of the movie.
It was
a
so
bit
funny.
obnoxious.
And then
So let's talk about this password to deliver the antidote. So
why was that?
why was Amazon in
significant?
this movie with all their drones? I don't get that. The Amazon Poppy drones? Seems like they were finally successful. Anyway, so why was she delivering it by drone anyway?
I guess that's a good way to
Because it was quick.
quickly distribute it. And she's totally into machines and stuff. Like,
And she's, yeah, okay, that's a really fair point. I like that. And so she decides that, like, she already had all this in play and had no intentions on letting everyone die, I don't believe. She wouldn't have all those antidotes in place if she actually wanted the people.
right? She didn't want because she wanted it to. She wanted to sell drugs to them.
She wants to sell
She don't
drugs
want
to
them to die.
Be wise. Legalize. I think that's what she said.
So long story short, they broke into the compound, killed everybody, essentially. Yes, nobody lived.
Yeah, no one lives. Long story short, Viva Las Vegas.
Was there a significance to that I missed?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. She thought it was so funny.
She did. I just almost think it's partly because maybe she was vegan. It was just, she was being, it was cute. I thought it was cute. It's my best friend. I didn't think there was any other significance. Not that I called it anyway.
They should have put her in the meat grinder just for the fun of it.
Yep. I think they should have showed them in the end inside the bar all having a burger.
Oh, that one. No, I like the idea of them two sitting there and they just pulled it out of the refrigerator and threw it on the grill because, like, the antidote had been delivered. So, like, let's have a burger. They take it out of the refrigerator, right? And it's somebody else. Like, it was a person. And they just don't realize it. I love that idea.
Would have been great.
Quite the meat grinder.
So in closing,
separates clothes.
There is one thing I didn't understand. Okay. In summary, bad people lose, the good people win. Most good people are dead that are of the British persuasion, right? So, Halle Berry replaces whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay? The one thing I don't understand is why Channing Tatum's character, I can't remember, was he tequila? The one that actually did the drugs that they had to antidote?
I think that was tequila.
Okay. So tequila, Channing Tatum's character, goes to the UK. He's dressed up in cowboy boots, a really nice suit, and a derby?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't.
There was absolutely nothing that said to us why he was there.
Setting up for the sequel.
No, the treacle?
The treacle. Hashtag treacle. I don't know how to spell it.
So, I mean, is that what that was then?
That's, I don't see any other point except to make people laugh because it's just funny. I don't know why else you would do it.
One thing we did kind of leave out was all the explosions. The missiles.
Oh, yeah.
Blowing up pretty much everyone.
All the Kingsmen.
Except for Eggsy.
Because he wasn't at home.
What's Benedict? What was his name? That's not it.
I don't know.
I'm going to call him the butler.
That works for me. Yeah, I really wish they didn't kill off the girl. I liked her character. The BFF.
Yep. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they'll rebuild her.
No, who knows?
I'm pretty sure she's gone because that whole property imploded.
Yeah, it just... What? That property got it worse than any other...
It really did.
Yeah.
Hate a sinkhole.
I wonder how hard it's going to be replaced, or how hard it will be to replace all those Kingsmen.
Well, it would be up to Galahad and Eggsy
Right.
to do this.
If you were to put a number on this movie...
I put it 1 point below the first one. Whatever I give the first one.
Okay, all right. Let's go back to the first one. You give the first one.
I don't really remember it enough. I'm just saying that this is not a sequel that I feel surpassed the first movie for me, or even matched it on par completely. Now,
You think it did worse?
Yeah, but only marginally.
Okay.
I don't mean like it's, let's say the first one was a 10 and this was a 5. I mean literally just a point.
Okay.
And it's just because I don't feel that it was a sequel that exceeded the first one, or even quite met it for me.
Yeah.
Like, for example, with Guardians of the Galaxy, I felt that it was well enough to at least equal the first one. Like, it held its own and also matched. This one, creatively, it matched, and, you know, all the cinematography, all the fighting, all that stuff, everything matched. It's just, I don't know.
I feel like there's a lot going on in this movie, too, that maybe throwing in so many additional characters with the Statesman and
A lot of characters.
There were a lot of characters to try to build any sort of character with, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe that took away from it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I feel like I want to say it was on par with what I watched last night, but the originality, because it was the first one, I think I don't know how you'd meet that with the second one. Like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, because the first one was the original.
Yeah,
and everything was brand new to me.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just some movies that sequels are
Capable of passing the original.
Yeah.
And, like, for example, Fast and the Furious, they did get better with age.
Oh, yeah, the first one was not good, but...
No, I mean, it's fun. It's classic, but it wasn't a very good movie.
We should watch them in reverse order.
Number 2 was not a very good movie. Too Fast, Too Furious.
I love all their names.
And then number 3, which was Tokyo Drift, I like, but it's definitely oddball.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right, so your rating is 1 below the first one.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't know how I'll keep track of that on my spreadsheet, but that's okay. I'll just say an 8, because that sounds good.
I'm going to definitely say it's a green light, though.
Yeah.
And
even maybe in the IMAX. I enjoyed that.
yeah, I enjoyed the big screen. Just, the volume was a bit loud, so actually I just decided this is a 4, so the first one must have been a 5.
Perfect. That's what I said to you. Did you hear me when
Yeah,
I
I
said
did. That's why I brought it up.
It
It was just really loud, and I was a little sensitive.
I will have to
ears.
say the person sitting directly behind me, which wasn't our party, quit kicking my seat. I got my seat kicked so many.
You should have told Jared.
Oh,
Like,
God.
Jared, they would not quit
What?
kicking my seat, bro.
None of them were that tall. Like, I don't know who. I think it was one of the girls sitting behind me.
She must have been propping up her feet.
I don't know what was happening.
But, like, excuse me, ma'am.
I'm
Jared's
trying to.
offspring.
I'm trying to focus for a podcast. This is important.
Hashtag Jared, get your kids straight. I hope that gets back to her.
I hope he doesn't listen.
It probably wasn't his kid. It's probably his kid's significant other.
Significant. Or insignificant other.
Insignificant other. Hashtag insignificant other.
That's a good one.
But
right.
anyway, so
Green light.
I give it a green light. Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely think, as anything, just know what you're going into. If you're sensitive to stuff,
It's rated
look at
R.
the rating.
It's rated R. Just,
Pay attention.
there's a lot of death,
It's not my fault if you don't like it because of its rating.
language.
And definitely some sexual stuff. However, no nudity.
No.
No
Just
nudity.
close-up panties.
Really close crotch shot.
Actually, there is kind of nudity. You see the inside. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Gynecology.
Hashtag gynecology. Hashtag OB. Hashtag OBGYN.
All right, go see it so you know
Hashtag
what we're
woman
talking
doctor.
about. Weirdest way to track an individual. That is a very difficult way to get a tracker on.
All right, so
somebody.
let's paint this picture for them now that we brought it up. In closing, finger condom, tracker, mucus membrane.
Yep.
Hashtag explained.
Hashtag this is Isaiah and I'm out.
This is Jake. I'll catch you next week. Hashtag sponsor us.